Hi, what are you up to today?
I was watching Fox News this morning. I just joined the Tea Party. I am going to help change society with economic reform. We will solve America's fiscal problems by balancing the budget.
That doesn't sound very specific. The Federal Reserve has created more money since George Bush was in office than all of the previous 42 presidents combined, from George Washington in 1789 all the way through Bill Clinton in 2000. Every government in history that has printed money to cover its own excessive spending has eventually experienced an economic collapse. The excessive printing of money causes runaway inflation that wipes out the middle class, as their savings, in dollars, are rendered worthless. What will the Tea Party do to prevent the hyperinflationary depression that is likely within the next 2 to 4 years?
I learn about economics on Fox News. As a Tea Party member, I will elect candidates to Congress and the office of president who are wholesome, God-fearing white men with a few token minorities and women whose political beliefs would label them fascist in any Western European country. Together we will cut government spending across the board, especially programs that provide social welfare and assistance to those in need. We will not cut defense spending. In fact, we will increase defense spending to maintain a strong military that can spread democracy to the rest of the world.
You sound like you have some kind of impairment or something. The United States has been trying to force democracy on other countries, particularly in the Middle East, using our military to overthrow governments that were uncooperative with our own thirst for oil. The buildup of our military-industrial complex has contributed as much to our government's debt as the social programs that you mentioned. We have spent more than $1 trillion on the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. If you stacked $100 bills into tight bundles, and then stacked the bundles on top of each other until you had $1 trillion, the stack would reach all of the way to the moon. Put another way, a family earning $100,000 per year would take 10 million years to earn $1 trillion, which is a time longer than humanity has existed.
I watch Glenn Beck on Fox News, so I am well informed about taxation. We need to lower taxes for all households, including the wealthy, so that people will spend money.
Most of the tax cuts under conservative politicians like George Bush went to the wealthiest 1% of households, those making over $1 million per year in income, while the average American received a check for $300 that they promptly spent at their local Walmart on goods produced and imported from Asia.
Everybody who watches Fox News knows that cutting taxes for the wealthy is good. Trickle-down economics works, as wealth filters down from rich oligarchs to the masses.
You must be some kind of fucking delusional moron. After the Bush tax cuts, Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world, said that he paid less in taxes, as a percentage of his total income, than his secretary, who was making $60,000 per year. The income gap between the rich and poor is the largest now since the time period during the 1920s that came right before the Great Depression.
Anybody who watches Fox News knows that a gap between the rich and poor is necessary for a free market system. We need to reward those who work hard and punish the lazy poor people.
Wow, every time you open your mouth you say something even more breathtakingly stupid. Is it not obvious to you that we do not have a free market system, as long as we allow special interests to donate money to political campaigns? For example, the group of asset shufflers working on Wall Street earns more than the entire income of Vietnam, an export-based economy of 84 million people. Our free market system also paid those same Wall Street asset shufflers the largest bonuses they have ever received with taxpayer money after they made bad investments. If you make a bad investment in your personal finances, the government won't use taxpayer money, or any money for that matter, to bail you out.
I learn all about foreign policy from watching Fox News. Vietnam and other countries in Asia are banana republics that can never compete with the United States. Our economy is 3 times as large as the gross domestic product of China. If necessary, we can use our military and economic might to usurp them.
Oh yeah, a military campaign has worked out great in Middle Eastern countries where we have been fighting militias and rogue terrorist groups. Can you imagine what would happen If we went up against North Korea or China, a country that has developed their own stealth bomber 10 years ahead of when the Central Intelligence Agency thought they would do it. And what the fuck would we do if China's central bank decided to exchange the $3 trillion it holds into their own currency, euros or gold? These massive holdings of dollars give them great influence over our political leaders. If we keep sending them our dollars without providing anything in return, they will eventually dump their dollars, making it harder for the average American family to afford basic necessities like food, transportation, and housing.
I watch Fox News so I am informed about inflation. Price inflation would be good for the United States. It would stimulate our economy by making people spend money rather than save money, because savings would be eaten away by inflation. We are a nation of homeowners, so inflation would also make our fixed-rate mortgages less expensive over time.
You really could not let go of this whole thing with Fox News. Are you some kind of fucking robot or something? A very small amount of inflation can be good. However, we don't have anything in place that would stop the Federal Reserve from printing unlimited amounts of money, and thus causing unlimited levels of inflation. Our currency, the dollar, is just a piece of paper. It is not backed by anything. The only cost to the Federal Reserve to produce more of it is the value of the paper. The Federal Reserve can also create money on computer balance sheets with banks, without using any paper whatsoever. Prior to 1971, the dollar could be exchanged into gold, but Richard Nixon, another conservative poster child, took us off of the gold standard so that extra dollars could be printed to pay for the Vietnam War. Does that sound familiar, like a smaller version of what is happening today?
I watch Bill O'Reilly on Fox News. Anybody who speaks critically about the wars is a liberal terrorist who is anti-American.
Again with the fucking Fox News. Can you please, for the love of God, tell me something you didn't learn from that fascist corporation disguised as a news agency?
I like to get my information from Fox News. As their slogan says, their perspective on current events is fair and balanced.
Yes, of course. I'm sure George Orwell would roll over in his grave if he could see the crock of shit propaganda they put out disguised as news.
I watch only Fox News. I do not want my children to read books by liberal authors like George Orwell, who pollute the fabric of society by filling up the minds of our children with morally corrupt ideas.
What the fuck? What are you going to tell me next? That you show your children Fox News for their entertainment?
I like to watch Fox News. It is wholesome family entertainment.
Then why don't you just go ahead and select Bill O'Reilly from Fox News to sire your next child?
Yes, Fox News is sensitive to family issues. I like to watch Fox News.